Are you all excited to board our journey of learning? Fasten your seatbelts. Let us get set go. Definitely, this flight will take you to deeper areas that you may not have explored. Unseen sights are always more beautiful, right? It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the first segment of Club Officers Training Round 2 2020. Before we start our virtual meeting, let me remind you the housekeeping rules. Everyone except speaker will be on mute mode. Everyone will be unmuted for question and answer session 1. Please turn on the videos to conduct the meeting effectively. Please pin the video of timer Toastmaster Prabodh Sarangi, which will help you to monitor and follow the timing notifications clearly. After the session break, please make sure to log into your respective training session. COT attendance form will be made available during the training session. Please note that if you are a member of multiple XCOM, attending one training will make you eligible to get the points for all XCOM roles. If you are a member of both English and Arabic clubs, attending any one COT will give you auto credit for the other club. Please fill in the attendance form carefully. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Today, we begin COT2. Club leaders are best served by consistent professional training that supports the brand, enhances members' experience, and helps them grow as leaders. When club officers are well trained to perform their duties, club members are better served. This makes the member experience more positive, which leads to a quality club experience and increased member retention. Without properly trained leaders at entry level, districts and clubs cannot meet members' needs or introduce the benefits of Toastmasters to others. To begin our auspicious COT training, I'm so privileged to introduce this lady. She just has a magical and charismatic personality. She wears multi caps and does all with perfection. Whoever knows her wonders how she is managing all this role so impeccably. She is a top-notch professional working as the principal of an international school in Bahrain and has earned a high reputation among the educators in Bahrain. She is also vice president of a popular socio-cultural organization. Her Facebook account brims with activities of that organization. Above all, she is our current division director, presenting before you the lady with an adorable personality, our role model and leader, DTM Sajida Sadish. Please put your hands together to welcome Division D Director, DTM Sajida Sadish, for the welcome remarks.
Honorable Regional Advisor, Master James, our District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Mohammed Salim, our popular Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Alifia Lakwala, our ever-enthusiastic Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, Head of Arabic Clubs, Distinguished Toastmaster Huzam, Court English Chair, Toastmaster Yashodin, Court Arabic Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Al-Dosri, Division Directors, Area Directors, EXCO members, and my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very warm, fresh good morning to all of you. On a Friday holiday morning, why do we have to spare a lazy nap, sumptuous breakfast, relaxed tea session, TV, or Instagram? It's the easiest thing to do in life, and we do that on almost all Friday mornings and on holidays, didn't we? But today, we, people belonging to various walks of life, countries, languages, are all here under one umbrella. Just speaks volumes and volumes about our passion, our outlook, our perspective, and our vision of life, along with our commitment to the international organization, Toastmasters. Toastmasters, as you all know, stands for training and developing our leadership and communication skills and continuous learning without any bars in a very, very friendly atmosphere. You may ask me, training? Why? Code 2, why is it needed? Dear fellow Toastmasters, life itself is a continuous learning journey. Needless to talk about a self-improvement program. In addition, it creates a culture of learning. It has a powerful cascading effects and it gives us a competitive advantage. Division D is proud to arrange Code 2 for supporting the full District 20 Toastmasters, and we will be extremely happy if you leave today's sessions with more knowledge and skills added to your repertoire of experience. To walk you through today's card sessions, I have here a beautiful soul, born and raised in Bahrain, an architect by profession, and an avid reader, aspiring writer too. She enjoys learning and doing creative work. Well, she is a true foodie at heart. Presenting the very charming and eloquent Toastmaster Apurva Divakaran, as our MC of the day. Dear fellow Toastmasters, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more powerful, you are a leader, says John Quincy Adams. I wish our Code 2 inspires all of you to dream more, learn more, do more, and become highly successful leaders. All the best to all of you, and over to you, MC Toastmaster Apurva.
Thank you very much, Division Director and Chief Organizer, DTM Sajita Satish, for those kind words. I truly feel like a superhero now. Leaders of District 20, distinguished Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to one and all. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the Club Officers Training for District 20 for the year 2020-2021. My name is Apurva Divakaran, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for the first session of COD today. The mission of the Toastmasters International is to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders, and to promote the four main values, which is respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Club Officer Training provides the knowledge and tools necessary for constant improvement of the club. This results in more satisfied members, more exciting club meetings, more distinguished clubs, and more distinguished districts. Our founder, Ralph C. Smedley, once said, "We learn best in moments of enjoyment." So my dear friends, let's all strive for constant improvement, because it is in these difficult moments that we learn the most. Well, enough said. I would like to acknowledge the presence of dignitaries in the event who will now address the audience and share with us their wisdoms and experiences. Let me introduce our first dignitary onto the stage. He is a current Area 5 Director and Division A Director, past District 79 Director, past Program Quality Director, past Club Road Director, and past public relations officer. Having embarked his Toastmastering Odyssey since April 2008, he has received this distinguished Toastmaster twice and truly believes that greatness comes from within. With a round of applause, please welcome our Regional 11 Advisor, distinguished Toastmaster James Taruk.
I knew it, there was a recorded clap. Thank you so much, our Master of Ceremony, Apurva. Greetings, leaders of the SIG20, DD Muhammad Salim, PQD Alafia, the ever-dynamic PQD Alafia, the hardworking CGD, TTM Khalid, PRM Maram, the district officers, division directors, area directors, the stars of today's event, the club officers, and the members of the SIG20, both in Bahrain and Kuwait. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all. Congratulations. Why? Because I think you have conquered the first challenge of the day, to fight the urge of remaining on your beds. I know it's a breezy, cold morning, and yet we were able to fight and conquer that first challenge. So congratulations. I have given 3 minutes just to have delivered my message to all of you. But allow me first to congratulate the people, the men, the great men and women behind this event. Thank you for organizing this. I think in Region 11, in the districts that I am looking after, you are the first one to conduct the second round of club officers training. Leaders, I have 3 questions today. First question is, what could have been done differently this time? This question is addressed to the club officers. This training is not only for you to get the credit. Ask ourselves, what could have been done differently to better serve our members at the club level? My second question is, what could have been done more? And this question is addressed to our trainers. It is not recommended to limit or contain our presentations from what the Toastmasters International reference guides saying. I encourage you to go out the backs and share your experience as seasoned and experienced trainers. The third question is, how can we add further value? And this question goes to our leaders at the district, division, and area level. Today, it is a good reminder for all of us not to be refreshed only from the training, but ask these questions, because this is the goal of our very existence in this organization called Toastmasters. We live to serve others, and our purpose is for their improvement and betterment. So today, I leave these 3 questions to all of you, and we hope at the end of the session, you could bring more than answers to these questions. Congratulations and good luck on your second round of club officers training. Special congratulations to our PQD who's been working very hard to come up with a session, and the hosting division, Division B. More power and cheers for a productive training. Back to you, MC.
Thank you, DTM James, for those pearls of wisdom. The mission of a district is to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. It's now time for me to introduce our second dignitary for the day. He is the founder of Adari Toastmasters Club. He's been a Toastmaster since 2002 and is currently serving as District 20 Director. A passionate trainer and a Gavels Club promoter, no problem is a tagline for this enthusiastic leader who can fix anything and everything when it comes to Toastmasters. Huge round of applause for our District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Muhammad Salim.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Apurva. One second, you just click me. Thank you, Mr. Purva, for the wonderful introduction. It was really more than what I have told you about myself. Actually, so you have done a little bit of research. Thank you very much. Actually, first of all, let me acknowledge the presence of our patient level advisor, DTM James. So, such a wonderful motivation. This morning, actually, it's like having a Red Bull or a coffee. That's where the leaders really inspire us. Actually, talking about our district office, let me acknowledge the presence of our program quality director, the club growth director, the district excom, and all the division directors, area directors, and the stars of today who are the club presidents and the club excom. Why you are the stars? Because you have survived 6 months of this pandemic situation. It's not that easy. It is so difficult that we could really manage to conduct meetings, physical meetings, whereas we really managed to have virtual meetings. This time it's totally a reverse phenomenon, wherein the clubs have been motivating throughout by conducting meetings, having joint meetings, having meetings across the globe. This is where really we have learned spirit of Toastmasters. Actually, it's not necessary that the district division has to conduct training programs, whereas the clubs have taken the initiative, the areas have taken the initiative, they have taken this program much higher height. Actually, I'm very proud that the District 20 is the pioneer district in the entire Toastmasters fraternity in conducting virtual meetings. I don't see much other districts conducting so many virtual meetings because I'm part of the district directors group worldwide, and I don't see much happening in other districts or other regions, whereas we are the pioneers in conducting these meetings, actually virtual meetings. This is something which I really want to give credit to the club presidents and club excom for making this happen. Actually, no matter what, you have proved the world that pandemic. Yes, we do have situations, we do have crisis in jobs, in economic situation, but whereas it never let us down. Actually, we just kept our spirits high by conducting meetings. It really kept us really motivated. Actually, many of the Toastmasters meeting kept us motivated throughout. Actually, to move to the next stage. This is where we have really struggled over the past 6 months. Now, coming 6 months is going to be a bit challenging, but I don't see the same challenges we faced in 2020. 2021, hopefully, it's going to be a wonderful year, and I'm looking forward to have more of physical meetings. Moreover, my take on regarding membership or having more club meetings is to have a joint speechcraft. That's what I've been promoting this year actually. Have a joint speechcraft program. This is where you give back to the community. You can have speechcraft alongside your club meeting. This is something you really need to ponder upon. We do have a mechanism from Toastmasters International wherein you can conduct speechcraft program alongside your club meetings actually. You need to bring in 50 to 20 speechcrafters and during your meetings let them practice their speaking skills and your club members can evaluate it. So this way we can have full house meeting, board members can participate. This is going to be a takeaway message for all of you that promote Speechcraft program within your club. Actually. Apart from that, I would recommend you to take up Speechcraft program within your organization, wherever you are conduct Speechcraft program within your organization. This is where you need to give back to the organization we serve because they have given us a lot of incentives or they have given a lot of liberty in doing for us to conduct those masters. This is where we need to really give back to the organization. Take this that Speechcraft is very key for the next 6 months. Each club can take up Speechcraft because I have seen success in Speechcraft program. We have chartered Speechcraft clubs after having Speechcraft programs. We have added new members after having Speechcraft programs. So please do take this message very seriously. Start working on it. We are there as a district to support you. And I believe from 1st of Jan, we can have online Speechcraft program. The manuals will be available. I believe that will be an extra boost for all the members actually. So let's have full house meeting. Even though you conduct virtual meetings, have full house meetings by adding with Speechcraft program. Thank you very much. This is the message to you all. All the best to the new incoming officers who have been selected now, the officers who have been surviving for 6 months, best wishes again. Our support is there always to reach out to us. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Pur.
DTM Mohammed Salim for imparting those words of wisdom. Our next dignitary needs absolutely no introduction. Presently serving as Program Quality Director of District 20, she's been a member of Toastmasters Club for 8 years. A physiotherapist by profession, she has received the Best Division Director Award of the Year and was also a recipient of the Best YOP Coordinator. Please welcome with a humongous applause onto the stage, the current Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Alifia Lakdawala.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. A warm good morning to our Region 11 Advisor, DTM James Tarouk, our District Director, DTM Mohammed Salim, our Club Group Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, our District Office, our Division Directors, our Area Directors, and most importantly, precious members of District 20. Good morning. Well, today, when we are 6 months down the line in our term and we have come to our second phase or the second COT, some time back, our region advisor said that what are we doing differently this time? This time, the trainers are well prepared. We had a mock session and we are talking about more of case studies. It's going to be a more interactive session. We want you all to tell your challenges and how each trainer has done it uniquely in their style. This is what we are going to discuss at the COT2 today. Something about the organizing committee. We started this planning a month back and it was spearheaded by DTM Sajita. I think Division D deserves a round of applause for the meticulous planning, and they have looked into the tiniest nitty-gritty of this event to ensure that every member gets the best quality training for the club officers. What different is District 20 doing this year? I would like to highlight a few achievements of our clubs, of our members, and something where we need to look into and where we can support. We have, as of now, 127 paid clubs and 89 clubs have to still, they have to pay. Sorry, 89% of the clubs last time achieved 7x7 COT. 68 clubs so far have 2 or less DCP points achieved. We have our pathways team in place. The district PQD team has initiated the program called Let's Bridge the Gap, where we are giving club member mentoring from the district level. Utilize clubs who have less than 2 DCP points, kindly reach out to us. The PQD team is ready to help you and take this quest ahead. Few highlights which I would like to give. We have Baluch Toastmasters Club who has added 14 new members this time. Manama and Al Tamayus have added 11. Falcons Rising Star Rawasi has added 10 new members. KNPC, that's a corporate club. Al Firaya, Al Asima have added 9 new members. Allied Bahrain Toastmasters, Krypton Innovative, Elite Debaters, Bahrain Kuwait Malayalam, EZ Coaching, Tawassul, ICAB, Al Dana have added 8 members each. First Diva, WMC, Enjas Advanced First Step, and Bahrain Arabic have added 7 members. Sanabis and Angel Toastmasters Taska, KMCC, the Desert Pioneers have added 6 members, while Adhari, Bahrain IT, Pakistan Community, TKS, Karnataka, SLCC, Smedley, South Kuwait, Kuwait Advance, GPIC, and Bahrain Pan Parakal have added 5. I would like to make a special mention here. Sims Toastmasters Club, which is a corporate club, if you have to see, because that's for teachers. They have added 5 new members this year. So what are they doing different? And why are they so thriving? Let's learn from these clubs today. Let's understand. Let me mention even Origin, Y-Axis, Bhavans, iSpeak, and Dreamweavers have added 4 members each. We have 37 DTM so far. So the district is really doing well. I would like to extend my support to the weak clubs and understand where we can support. We want the area directors to get in touch with these clubs. See your area, see the dashboard, see which clubs are falling short. Reach out to us and in turn we will support. A special mention to Ravasi Toastmasters Club and Falcon Toastmasters Club, who have achieved 9 DCP goals or 9 DCP points so far. Congratulations. And behind them, it is Bahrain Arabic, Elite Debaters, Al Tamayus, Kuwait, Bhavan's Kuwait Malayalam, Bhavan's Toastmasters, Rising Star, Turar with 8 points. I think District 20, y'all are doing great despite of the pandemic. Thank you for all the love, for all the support, what y'all are doing. Club XCOM, continue doing it because y'all are the base. Y'all are our leaders. Y'all are our future leaders. We want to train y'all to the best of the ability. I know the red is on, but something which I would like to mention, we have Toastmaster Killer with 15 educational awards. DTM Ramkumar with 14, DTM Murli with 9, AD Mrinmoy with 8, DTM Ali Shabazz Ali with 8, DTM Jabir with 6, and AD Roshan with 6 educational awards. So this is in a nutshell the highlights of District 20. Let's step in and support each other where we can and support the weak clubs and get them to rising heights. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Alifia, for those wonderful words of wisdom. Next, it gives me immense pleasure and happiness to welcome the next dignitary onto the stage. Having served as immediate past president of Backward Toastmasters Club and St. Paul's Toastmasters Club, and immediate past Division B director, he is a current president of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club and the current District 20 Club Growth Director. His purpose in life is to lead his kids by a good example of a father to be followed, and that's why he is in Toastmasters today. Let's all welcome the very energetic, the very enthusiastic Club Growth Director, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, for the lovely introduction. We recognize the presence of our Region 11 advisor, DTM James Tarouk, our District 20 Director, DTM Muhammad Salim, our ever glamorous PQD, DTM Alifia Lakdawala, our PRM, Toastmaster Maram Al-Aradi, all of the office, XCOM, leaders, guests, good morning to one and all. I'm sure we are so eager to see this year ending, right? 2020. I got a quote lately for 2020. It says, this is not the year to get everything you want. This is the year to appreciate everything you have. I think this is exactly what we need to do. We need to appreciate the 169 members that we have currently in this room. This is something we need to really be proud of, being one united family. I always remember the tagline, or whatever you want to call it, rise up, we rise up as one. We had it last term between the 4 division directors in Bahrain, and now we are extending it to the whole district. So this is an exact example, a true example or reflection of what we are going through. Now, I heard many figures from our PQD. Thank you, PQD, for making it easy for me. And so inspiring words by our DD on speechcraft and our RA, of course, summing it all up. What can we do differently in the coming 6 months? That's the question I think we need to ask ourselves, all of us. Planning. Planning is where it should start. Many use this first year resolution to themselves. Yes, 2020 is going. So if you are having this mindset of planning and setting goals for the next year, please do this today. Once we are done with the XCOM, please do it today. There is an open house, district open house happening on 18th for English and 19th for Arabic. 18th for English, 19th for Arabic. And I kept on sending messages to all triers of the XCOM, of the club XCOM, to participate in that. Definitely it's not a district event. It's all District 20 clubs event. So please, I would be reminding you, I'll be sending you an email with all of the dates, with all of your contribution, what has to be done. And let's make that a successful event. It will be run by Division H Director. So let's all join hands together as one united District 20 family. Let's rise up as one. And I'll leave you with one quote by Cindy. She says, "The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows." Now I look at all of the small boxes all around this virtual room. Yes, it might look confined. We might be looked that we are limited, but let's look beyond those mirrors which we are looking ourselves from. Let's turn those mirrors into windows. Let's think of all of the possibilities that we can do through these nicely Zoom screens. I wish you all the best, leaders. Let's enjoy our session, and over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Abdullah, for your inspiring words. Leadership is all about serving and to lead without a title, because it is better to be a lion for one day at least than to be a sheep all your life. Let's learn from one another and serve each other. On that note, it is now time to begin our very first training session for the event. Now, before I introduce our trainers for the day, I would like to request all of you to feel free and post any queries or questions, should you have any, into our chat box below. To introduce our first trainer for the day, well, what can I say about this Toastmaster? Having embarked his Toastmastering journey in the year 2005, he is 2 times winner of the district level table topics in 2008 and 2012, first runner-up for international speech and winner at area and division level for international speech. Please welcome, with a huge applause, our first trainer for the day, Toastmaster Jiju Varghese, who will be delivering a workshop on building a healthy team and leading the club to success. Toastmaster Jiju, stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate this move by District 20, Division A1, for having organized such a beautiful club officers training, the second version, for the current year. With such distinguished leaders, I'm sure that this division will do wonders. So wishing all the best for all the club officers who are logged in for the training. Today, I am assigned to do a session on how to go about with the club officers training, in terms of letting them know about how to have the objectives of today's meeting, which I intend to do is, first is to identify and describe the key elements of moments of truth, evaluate the current status of your club, construct a list of challenges and opportunities and discuss the best practices that goes around, and finally, to identify the 5 traits of a healthy team. So allow me to start with the first one, which is, what is moment of truth? We often say moment of truth, but the exact definition of moment of truth is, a moment of truth is an episode where a person comes in contact with any aspects of Toastmasters' experience and forms an impression of the club's quality and service. That's exactly a moment of truth for the club. Now, what is Toastmasters Club all about? I'm sure we've heard this from our district leaders and all the leaders who spoke just before about what Toastmasters Club is all about. But just as a gentle reminder, each Toastmaster Club has its mission to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience. This is something which is really unique in Toastmastering and which needs to be fostered, nurtured, and brought forward to develop the members. Each and every member has an opportunity to develop their communication and leadership skills. That exactly is Toastmastering all about. With this great tool of moments of truth, each club can grow into something which is a quality club, delivering the best kind of education at the most affordable price and making each and every Toastmaster confident about his or her performance whenever he or she goes out to present anything or any task that is given to her or him. Let's look at and dissect the moment of truth to have a deeper understanding of what exactly do we mean by moments of truth. The first one is the membership strength. Of course, a club needs to have the strength of its members by which the Toastmaster Club functions beautifully. Now, each club should have at least 20 or more members. This is something which is not a mandatory thing, but still advisable thing for a club to have so that your club activities can function very smoothly. The most important element is a member is retained. And the concept of retaining of the member is when you achieve a set level of quality by which the members of the club feel valued and get back something and take back something home from Toastmasters Club. The next is about promotion of the club. How do you promote your club out in the society, in the community, in your city or your town or your village, wherever you are? How do you promote your club and how do you take it around? I know of certain clubs that use wonderful tools which will be told to you in the officers training. But promotion of club is something very important and something to be stressed, which helps you in having membership strength. Each club programs have a varied program. Each club programs are varied and it is entertaining. That really makes the member want to come back to the club and thereby you achieve the membership strength goal of yours. The next is the Toastmasters sponsoring new members get recognized. So what happens is when a member gets recognized in the club, he or she feels the value of herself or himself and makes sure that she keeps or they keep bringing in more members to have that kind of sense of achievement for the club. The next is regularly have membership building programs. There can be many techniques by which you can develop programs by which members are attracted to the club and you keep on increasing the strength of the club. No club is always standing at a stable membership. What I would advise and my experience with Toastmastering is make sure that your strength is always in a healthy level and you motivate and encourage the members to increase the membership strength. The next important tool in terms of assessing your club is achievements. How do you recognize the achievements of each member and the members and the Toastmaster Club itself? Is that award applications have to be immediately submitted to the headquarters. So what happens is the recognition of the members' hard work and putting in all those efforts towards making sure that the pathway and each projects are met with is also recognized in the club and also recognized by the Toastmasters International. Progress chart will really be helpful. If you have a progress chart being put across of all your members and to what level have they achieved, it serves as a motivation tool for the other members also that if he can, I can. So that kind of a sense of a motivation comes in when you develop this progress chart. It's always a positive move towards taking this through and recognizing achievements. The members' achievements are formally recognized. There are many ways of formally recognizing them and making them really unique. Other than those club ribbons and those certificates, you can think of hosting a small party, cutting a small cake for each achievement that these Toastmasters achieve. It can really bring about a difference and really help your club to stay motivated always for the members to keep achieving each goal which they set when they join Toastmastering. The club, district, and international leaders are acknowledged and recognized. Invite these leaders onto your club. Whenever they find time, they would come and help you in having these the club goals, club objectives, and members to stay motivated throughout and go about and achieve their goals. Thereby, you also recognize the achievement of these club officers or the district officers, or even if you can get the international leaders into your club meetings or your division meetings. The next is club and member achievement is recognized. This is something very important, very, very important, because the concept of self-worth increases each time that you recognize a member. I remember my first recognition when I went and did my first speech. I remember it was years back, and that still is a sense of motivation for me. When I got my first ribbon for the first speech that I conducted, it was a kind of feeling that made me so charged up that Toastmastering is indeed a beautiful program by which I can develop my skills and keep on polishing it so that I can go and present it at various forums, not just at Toastmasters. So club and member achievement has to be recognized. The DCP is to be used as a planning and recognition tool. DCP tool is something which I have never seen in any other organization. A tool by which the club gets motivated, the club achievements increases, and the level of confidence of the club officers also increases as you go about and achieve the DCP goals. So make sure that the club goes ahead and achieves these DCP goals by which your club gets recognized and the achievements get recognized, just like our PQD just announced so many beautiful achievements of the club members, the members of Toastmasters, the club. It was amazing, a sense of feeling. I was just going through the chat and I saw a wonderful message of congratulations going out to one of the club. It's really, really motivating. So please do go about and do the DCP planning for recognition. The next is the pivotal point, making the first impression. When a guest is coming in, the first impression of your club really counts and makes a difference. How do you welcome your guests? How warmly are you introducing the officers and members? It really makes something which is kind of the first tool or the first step that a guest has got to climb on to enter into the Toastmasters Club. Right now, if you would have seen a few minutes back, when the MC, the gorgeous MC introduced me, I was all pumped up. I said, wow, it feels good when I'm being introduced in a nice way, when I'm greeted in a nice way. Similarly, use unique techniques to make sure that your guests are warmly introduced and officers are promptly put across on a pedestal where they feel confident and they feel happy about the achievement of being a member, a club officer at the clubs. This is a very important aspect. When you look at marketing, there are several several programs by which they say register your number and make sure you get into a contest by which you can have a particular award being won. That is to collect your database. Guest books are always a sense of database which you can maintain and make sure that the guest contact coordinates are collected, and these guest books serve as a tool to keep on calling these guests and inviting them warmly to join the club. Guest book forms as a reference point for the VP membership, I believe, to maybe invite the guests again and have the member join the club. So this will be taken care in the VP membership training, which will be done later on in the course of the day. Name tags makes a big difference in terms of the guest that comes in. When you invite a guest, let's say, for example, I'm invited onto a club. And when I go into the club, I find a name tag of mine. I feel so good about it, that the club has really cared for me. So this kind of a name tag provision helps you in creating a first impression that is indeed a lasting one. The next point, which is really important, is having the room organized in a very professional manner. That gives a sense of quality of the place that the member or the guest would be visiting and feeling that this place is indeed worth for me to come. So make sure that your meeting rooms are very professionally organized, having all the setups that is needed to run the Toastmasters meeting very, very fruitfully and very, very well organized. The meeting location has to be at a convenient place where you can have your parkings being assigned properly. So all these sense of having the meeting location planned well will help the guest to ensure that they come in and enjoy the Toastmastering experience as they come in as a guest. That leaves a very good lasting impression on the guest who's coming in. The guests often have to be invited to address the club, mostly at the end of the meeting, to take a feedback of how they felt about the whole thing. This gives the guest a sense of worth, that his viewpoint is really considered and looked upon by the club and the club officers. This really indeed helps in having the club's impression being stamped on and validated by the guests, because when you invite the guest to join, and if he joins, all these things which we have planned about the first impression creation and the lasting impression. Remember, the first impression is always a lasting experience, impression. So make that stamp onto the member that Toastmastering is indeed a wonderful experience where we mutually grow and we mutually learn about how to be presentable in a society. The fourth point is fellowship, variety, and communication, where again the guests are warmly welcomed and made welcome. It's not just greeted warmly, but they are also made welcome. Enjoyable and educational meetings planned. I'm sure each club has wonderful programs. You can always go about and get inspired by other clubs, by visiting other clubs and understanding how exciting their programs are, and maybe adapt that and get inspired. The next is a regular scheduled social events. Wow, it's Christmas time. So it could be a Christmas gathering. It could be, if it's Diwali, it could be a Diwali gathering. It could be an Eid gathering. It could be just a potluck event where everybody brings in something. So something of a regular social event makes it really exciting for the members to be glued on to the club that they have joined. At the same time, I saw one of a beautiful experience which I enjoyed at one of the club was where they got in 7 short films, which is of 7 minutes. And at the end of each film, there were 2 people. The whole club was divided into 2 things, and each group had to come up and do their presentation and evaluation of the short film. It was a wonderful event and something which was unique. I'm sure you have so many beautiful programs going around to have the social events, which is a glue for the members to be completely connected to each other. Fellowship increases and your variety of program increases. Communication is made better. Members participate in club and district events, club, district, and international events. It's contest season. I wish everybody all the very best, and the club officers to carve out champions from your club. So make sure that you encourage the members and to participate in such kind of events, whereby their quality increases, they get knowledge, and really the club increases its fellowship content or fellowship. The value of fellowship is more given on to the members. Inter-club events are also encouraged. There are so many inter-club events that can be organized in consultation with the PQD and the other district officials. Make sure that you have such kind of meetings organized, which increases fellowship among members of different clubs. And you can also, like I said before, get inspired by other clubs' activities and the way that they really conduct their programs. The next very, very important point is orientation of members. When a new member joins in, a formal induction makes him feel as if he's the President of America, taking an oath and getting into this Toastmastering experience. So make sure that the inductions are really made formal and the member feels really good about it, that he's joined and he's pinned properly onto his onto the lapel and made worth, his self-worth increases by going through that experience. And make sure that the manuals are passed on either digitally, or if you can give a print, or whatever way that you manage those manuals being passed on. The next most important point is for the new member not to get lost, to have a complete experience of Toastmastering. Make sure that each new member that joins your club is assigned with a mentor who's experienced. Not only experienced, but I would suggest a mentor who's willing to go out and walk that extra mile to make sure that the member is oriented properly about the program of Toastmasters. Education programs and recognition programs are discussed maybe in a month once or quarter once, so that everybody is refreshed with what the educational programs is all about and how they can go about to achieve their goals in Toastmastering. The learning needs have to be assessed. So the mentor and the VP Ed can really come together and do this. Speaking roles get assigned properly and explained properly to the new members. Members involved in all aspects of club activities. It could be having a a general meeting where, where everybody can come in, not on a regular meeting day, can come in. Our club once had a meeting which was so encouraging, where it was not at all a standard Toastmasters meeting, but it was just to come in and brainstorm. Wonderful ideas did come out on that meeting. And that such kind of meetings can be organized to have all members contribute towards the growth of the club. The next one is, the last one of the moment of truth is program planning and meeting organization. When programs and agendas are published publicized in advance, the members get to know what they are coming about and what they will be taking back home. What is happening in a day's meeting? The agenda, when it's planned properly, it gives a great value to the club and to the club meeting, and members get enriched with that experience. Members are prepared to carry out all the programs assignment. I'm sure the VP Ed has a great role in this, which will be fantastically explained by the trainer who's already ready with their presentations, where the member is properly prepared to carry out his duties, either as a speaker or as a role player, so that he understands what he or she understands what his roles are in the club. All programs are from the pathway. So pathway is something which is so fascinating. I recently have rejoined this pathway program, and I find it so beautifully organized, so wonderfully placed, that I can see growth of myself and any member who would be participating in this pathway program, make them feel the self-worth and make them understand how beautifully the pathway program is organized for each members. This is the most important element in any Toastmastering moment. Beginning the Toastmastering at the right time and ending it exactly in the right time gives the member, whoever has joined in, or the existing members, a sense of being perfect to the T. When the meeting starts in time and ends well, it reflects on the planning that the program has been planned with and the organization of the meeting that has been so fruitful. Well, I simply love table topics because I have managed to reach up to the district level twice because of these creative table topics that were thrown at me whenever I visited any clubs when I went for the training. Table topics is an amazing tool. It not only increases the power of your communication, but also helps you to tie the brain to the tongue. So make sure these table topic activities are really creative and brings out the best in the members. And all the activities are planned and organized in the most beautiful manner. Positive and helpful evaluation. It's the base of any Toastmasters member or any Toastmaster to keep growing in his mission or wish to go about and grow and achieve his objectives, which he has planned out before joining the Toastmasters. Positive and helpful evaluation helps a member to grow and to adapt all those evaluations into his next project. So this was all about the moment of truth. Now there is a two-step objective behind the moments of truth. The first step is when you determine on a scale of 1 to 5, determine on a scale of 1 to 5, how well the club is meeting that moment of truth. We have 6 moments of truth being detailed properly. So you can put a marking across. There are beautiful tabulation sheets being made and which is available as a resource across on the net. You can put your points across on grade of 1 to 5 and hand it out to all the club officers, and thereby understand how the club is working and what is the view of people around in your club. The next step is discuss and record recommendations for how your club can improve or change. Moment of Truth is an amazing tool, fellow Toastmasters, for the growth of the club, the growth of the individual, and the growth of Toastmasters around the place that you are. So go ahead, and I inspire you, and I really wish that you go and make use of this wonderful tool that is crafted beautifully with a long years of experience, which can bring about a positive change in the club that you are. And you can really grow the club into a beautiful way. The best practice chart can be somewhat of this. I just brought in a small representation of that. On the first column, it could be challenges. The second column could be possible causes and the recommendation. I put in a few things like guests are not showing up to the club. So what are the possible causes? What is the recommendation made by people? Similarly, you can list down all your challenges and make this best practice chart, which can go as a reference point for your next committee who's coming in, and to understand what the culture of the club has been and how the club has improved. It can really form as a very good tool to improve the club's quality, maintain the strength of the members, and ensure that their club really produces fruitful Toastmasters. Now, the second part is building a healthy team. We'll quickly run through that. The agenda for this is to analyze, identify, and develop a healthy team by understanding the 5 traits of a healthy team and build how to build trust. Well, the 5 trusts of a healthy team is trust, healthy conflict, commitment, accountability, results, and at the pinnacle, you stand there at the pinnacle and smile at your achievement that you have reached by building a positive and healthy team. Well, the first one is trust. How do you build about trust? By having a direct communication, an honest communication, and something which is consistent, a communication which is really filled with direct objectives being put across. An honest comment about what you feel and consistency maintained ensures that you build the trust among your club officers and members. Be supportive to each other. That is the base by which you can build the trust in any team. The next is healthy conflict. Well, conflicts are normally to be avoided, but I have put it as a healthy conflict. If you have a healthy conflict, how do you manage the healthy conflict is when you change the concept of you did it to I feel it can be done better. So changing the verbatim from you to I really improves in having the conflict turn into a healthy conflict. By focusing on the issue and not on people helps you to really make sure that your conflicts are converting into benefits rather than having issues and problems. Paraphrasing helps you to have a conflict which is healthy. Like, as I understand, the issue that you have told is about A, B, C. So what happens is the person who's raised a point understands that my understanding of the conflict is clear. So paraphrase the paraphrase very well to make sure that the understanding is put across to people very well. Understand. I put the T wrongly. I'm sorry about the spelling mistake, but understand your team and understand the issues rather than having misunderstandings. Understand from where the root causes. It can help you have the conflict to be a healthy conflict. From that, when you turn to commitment, make the team feel valued. When you are with the team, make them feel valued about their presence, about their contribution which they have given towards the growth of this Toastmasters Club. Show the challenges and opportunities to the club by the best practice chart we just looked just some minutes before, and you set your goals. When you set your goals, you use those DCP goals by which you set the goals towards making your club a fantastic place where each member feels glued and not wanting to leave the club and not wanting to attend the meetings. When you plan that, your commitment is reflected and you recognize each and every possible opportunity, you recognize each and every member, and you recognize your team. The next thing is about accountability. Accountability comes with communication. When you are communicating properly to your club officers, to your members, your commitment is reflected. When you coach, such kind of coaching programs that we have, the club officers training and other trainings that goes about, when coaching is given, there is a sense of accountability that I am really concerned about you. That kind of a feeling gets into the member who's attending. A conscious awareness program, when crafted, make sure that it reflects accountability. And when you have accountability by communicating properly and coaching and giving a conscious awareness, the celebration of your achievement starts from that point onwards. And when you have celebrations, it reflects the results. Tony Robbins, a fantastic writer, has said, there is no such thing as failure. And I really believe it. There are only results. The results could be positive, or the results could reflect as an encouragement to go about and find the next opportunity. So go ahead and make sure that you enjoy the success of building the 5 by using these 5 traits of a healthy team and building a fantastic team ahead. I now would leave the floor for questions and answers. Anybody having any questions could put it in a chat or maybe unmute your mic and say, and
Thank you for that wonderful presentation, sir. I am DTM Ramkumar Nachupalli, District 20, a past Division Director and a member of Elite Debaters. I have a question. Thank you for the wonderful session. Very enlightening, enhancing, and educational session you have given. Appreciate that. My query is, you said healthy notes which you have given on.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the last slide before the question answers, you have highlighted healthy notes on awareness. You mentioned about consequence awareness, coaching consequence awareness. Can you brief a little bit more on this?
Yeah, let me just go to that slide. Yeah, it's about accountability. Thank you, DTM Nachupalli, for giving me that kind of a wonderful comment, which has really charged me up again. When we talk about consequence awareness, the consequence awareness is when you tell your team that if you're not practicing certain standards of the club, what is the consequence that the club would likely face? Maybe it could be your members dropping out. Maybe it could be quality of your programs coming down. So when you have a consequence awareness of programs that is unplanned, of no follow-ups, of no not bringing guests in, these kind of consequences, which is because of the actions. If a member or the club officer is made aware, the accountability of the club officer increases. I hope I'm clear on that point, on consequences of your action.
Yeah, exactly, sir. I would like to add something on it. As leadership is all about results and recognitions.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Any more questions?
Toastmasters Apurva, can you ask my question?
Yes, please. We have a question from VP Education of ASSP Toastmasters, Mr. Dinesh Kumar. He's asked you to elaborate about a regular membership building program, which is mentioned in one of your slides.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Could you please repeat it again?
Okay, I think you've mentioned regular membership building program in one of your slides. He's asked you to elaborate more on that.
Yes. Well, when you have the regular membership building program, first of all, Toastmaster Dinesh, thank you for that question. Well, membership building programs could be different programs. I've seen different clubs organize different programs by which they attract their guests into programs. Membership building programs could be going about and talking in your community, by going and talking in organizations which is welcoming you and helping them understand about what Toastmastering is all about. I've seen many places where they do not know the exact benefits of being a Toastmaster. So when you go about and explain the program of Toastmastering across to different organizations, it could be a club, it could be a community, it could be a group of friends that is gathered. So gather some prospective members who show some interest into it, and you can really reflect about how Toastmastering has benefited members by showcasing maybe a mini meeting, by showcasing something which is all about Toastmastering and going and presenting it to various organizations. That can be one of the programs by which you can have a membership building programs being planned. There are so many ways. Having a potluck and getting some guests into it and talking to them about Toastmastering. Sending emailers across to people and saying what is Toastmastering all about and how our club can be helping you achieve your goals in terms of communication. So all these things can be used as a development tool in terms of developing your membership and building a membership building program. I hope I addressed to your point, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Yes, thank you.
Toastmaster Apurva, can I just add something to this? Actually, this is Mohammed Salim.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I think the question was like regarding the membership programs actually, because Toastmasters International have many membership programs like this Medley Award, the Talk of Toastmasters, Read the Clock Award. Not many ExCom members are aware of it actually, but these programs wherein the clubs get recognized, they get a ribbon, special ribbon, and they do get a special discount on their next lot. The point here is that the ExCom needs to be aware of these programs and more of push towards these three programs apart from other membership awards. Actually, there are membership awards for members who individual members who bring in more members. Actually, these are awards can be mentioned in the clubs so that we do have a flow of members coming in.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Muhammad Salim, a good friend and a brother of mine. Thank you for adding on to that point. I just didn't mention these things because it will come in the following programs, which has been planned and the training that is planned across. So I just didn't want to cross over to their trainings, Yeah, thank you very much, to DTM Muhammad Salim.
I think we're done with the questions.
So can I bring in the next slide?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Let us together make the difference. And thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Stay blessed and make sure that you attend all these club officer trainings. It is really of great value. All the best to every officer who's joined in. And may you bring about a difference in the members. May you bring about a difference in the Toastmasters Club. Let's together make a difference. Back to you, MC of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jijo, for the valuable lesson. Now we move on to our next training session. Let me introduce our second trainer for the day. Having achieved 2 DTMs and currently working on his third, he is our past division director and an active member in 5 clubs. He helped charter several Toastmasters clubs in Kuwait and India and has also mentored a few Gavels clubs. He is the current Area 20 director, and today he'll be delivering a workshop on getting ahead of your challenges in sustaining weak clubs. Please welcome, with a thunderous applause, distinguished Toastmaster Anil Lobo.
Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters, friends, members of the District 20, today we are going to understand what are some of the challenges we are facing and in a large way, how to overcome these challenges. Now, we all face challenges in life, and especially now with COVID-19, the challenges are quite grave. We have faced challenges such as your car tire suddenly bursting and you need to change your tire. Are you going to give up and say, oh my God, I got a burst tire, I have to buy a new car? No, you will not do that, right? You will understand what's the problem. You'll look at the different solutions and you'll overcome the challenges. So you get ahead of them. Similarly, some of the greatest challenges, like if you lose a job or some major crisis in the family, when you apply these skills in the real world, what is the challenge that we're facing in Toastmasters? They're pretty much the same. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to understand today how we can get ahead of our challenges and to a little extent, how we can overcome some of the challenges that we're facing in our clubs. Now, I'm going to be sharing the screen with you to understand what are the challenges that we're going to be facing and how to sustain the weak clubs. After this session, we will be able to identify 4 things or recognize 4 things. Number 1, you recognize the challenges your team member faces with some specific goals. And we'll go through some of the goals, some of the challenges that we're facing in clubs in District 20. The second thing, we'll apply our experience to the ExCom. Third, we will develop some solutions to challenges, some of the most common challenges the ExCom faces and even members face. And finally, we're going to recognize how our members of the club are valuable resources. Now, before we can move any further, there's going to be a small little poll over here. And I'm going to ask our poll master to release the poll. We've got 6 very basic questions, very simple questions. I want you to answer these questions to the best of your ability. And it's basically yes or no answers. So can we launch the poll, please, right now? Okay, the first question, does your club have low member attendance? Answer yes or no. Do roll members drop out last minute? And is the agenda sent out late? We have 30 seconds to give you answers. If you scroll down, you have 3 more questions. Question number 4, are your members mentored for their roles, especially new members? Do you have a lot of non-Toastmaster guests attending? And will your club achieve your DCP goals? Timer, when the time's up, you can just give me a little countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so I know that the polling is over.
We have 15 seconds now.
Excellent.
Okay, we can end the poll.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The poll's ended. Let's see the results of our poll. Now, this is a non-scientific poll. This is just a feedback from individual members on what's happening in their clubs. And let's see. The first question, do you have low attendance? I see this is an endemic problem across the district. Do role players drop out at the last minute? I see more than 50% having this problem. Is the agenda sent out on time? Oh, wow. This is a problem. You guys have to send your agenda early, right? You heard what Toastmaster Jiju said about in the moments of truth. Send your agenda early. Are your new members mentored? I'm going to touch upon, I see a lot of them, almost 80% don't have mentoring. Are there a lot of non-Toastmaster guests? And the big question is why? Is your club achieving your DCP goals? Yes, that's good. Now with this said and done, let's move on to understanding what is the problem that we are facing across pretty much all the Toastmaster clubs in Kuwait and in Bahrain. Now, I have shortlisted 7 challenges that I have spoken to different district officers as well as club officers. And these are the 7 common problems: low attendance, members dropping out last minute, new members are not being mentored for their roles, not only the speeches, but even the roles, the XCOM roles. Agendas being sent out quite late. XCOM members are not even active. There are some clubs that have 7 XCOM officers, and when you have an XCOM meeting, you only have 3 or 4 attending. Don't even have a full quorum. And the last 2 challenges are quite a big challenge. And you're not getting new members and you're not having DCP goals. Now let's talk about why are we having low attendance? Why is the challenges of having low attendance? Yes, we're having the COVID-19 pandemic. Now in the chat box, you can put your answers. What is the reason you're having low attendance? Okay. Please be frank and honest with the reasons you're having low attendance. Can I have somebody read out the reasons? Alwyn, are you there? Can you read them out for me?
We have one with busy work schedules.
Okay, that's good. There's only one reason, busy work schedule.
Yes, so far. Priority is not given to Toastmasters. Virtual meetings tend to get boring, and it's
also there can be negligence. There can be negligence.
Negligence. Okay, that's interesting. So you see, we are understanding that there is a challenge of low attendance. Now let's understand why low attendance is a problem. As Jijo rightly said, a healthy club should be around 20 members. Now we have 6 officer roles or 6 meeting roles. We have the TMOD, the topics master, the general evaluator, the grammarian, the R counter, the timer. So these are 6 officer roles in the meeting. And then you have 12 members that you need just to have a regular meeting. And we need to have topic speakers, right? So we need to have at least 20 people in the room. When you have low attendance, you have burnout. And this I've seen happen in a lot of clubs. Oh, can you be the grammarian and can you also be an evaluator? Oh, can I have the grammarian and our counter take up double roles? And what happens after some time? I'm going to skip this meeting. They ask me to do too many things. I cannot focus on my role. So this is a very important challenge. Let's understand why we have low attendance. Now, the second one, members drop out at the last minute. What could be the reason? It's time for us to brainstorm on this. It could be the members are not mentored. Could be that they have a busy schedule. Let's understand what goes wrong on that. Now, new members are not mentored for their roles and speeches. In fact, I had a chance to talk to DTM Alifia, and she was talking about this program called Bridge the Gap. It's a nice program that's come out from, it's a good initiative from the district. Basically, this is an opportunity to mentor our members, not only new members, but even existing members on pathways. That's a big challenge because a lot of the senior Toastmasters are quite new on pathways. We're coming into speech contest season. So this is an opportunity to be mentored on how to write a speech, how to deliver a speech, what are the criteria for speeches. Simple roles, basic roles of being a grammarian, how to choose a word of the day, how to be a grammarian, how to be an R counter, how to be an evaluator. XCOM roles, this is again a big challenge. Yes, I've signed up to be a member of the XCOM and I've attended the club officers training, but that's not all. We have to be mentored. So these are some of the challenges we're facing. Agenda is being sent out late. Now this could be because you cannot fill out the agenda. The roles are not being filled out. Again, a very big challenge. And this is something that's endemic to all the clubs, not only in Bahrain, but even in Kuwait. XCOM officers are not active. Whatever the reason is, if you're not active, that has an implication on club quality. And Gijo has talked about in the moments of truth. It does reflect on the club quality. Not getting the new members. This is a big problem with COVID-19. In fact, I have noticed that during COVID-19, getting members to attend a regular meeting is a challenge. Getting guests to attend is a double challenge. So this is a challenge. And this can affect our DCB goals. But I've noticed that we are doing quite well on this part. So I'm not too worried on that. Now let's understand how to move forward. Now that we have identified we have challenges, and I'm sure each one of you in the club as an XCOM officer, you will have some challenges that we cannot document over here, but please share them with us. When there's a challenge, there has to be a solution. In fact, not only one solution, there will be multiple solutions. We have to select the best solution. It's like your car. If your tire has burst or you have an engine problem, you have multiple garages that you can go to, right? But you will say, which is the quickest, which is the least expensive, which is the closest to where my car is. And you'll have different solutions, but you'll have one best solution. And this is what we're going to be doing in Toastmasters. So now that we come to the part on how to brainstorm. So in order to get ahead of your challenges, the first thing that we need to do is we need to write out all possible solutions. Now, why is it important to write out all possible solutions? If you have the solutions in the mind, when you document them, you can not only read them, but you can share them with your team. Rather than keeping it to yourself and say, okay, well, I have an idea and I think I have 2 solutions for it. When you document it and you share it with everyone, the 7 XCOM officers can brainstorm and can give some suggestions. Now let's look at our low attendance. What could be some of the possible solutions? Could it be our club meeting is boring? Could it really be that people are working overtime, they're trying to catch up with what they've missed out over the last couple of months? Or it could be that they don't have variety. Meetings have become stale. I've been doing evaluation for the last 3 meetings. I'll just drop out. I don't need to attend. So let's see why we have these problems. Now, the second thing is you want to encourage everyone to speak. It is not only the senior Toastmasters who are going to speak. Everyone in your group is going to speak, especially when you're brainstorming. And this is where new members equals new ideas are very important. I remember when we had a new VP Public Relations in one of the Toastmaster Club. The club did not have a very big social media presence. all of a sudden, the VP PR started putting out these beautiful posters, started putting them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, all the different media. And all of a sudden, we started getting a couple of hundred hits, and then it became thousands, and it reached over 1,000 hits. And then we started noticing people attending our meetings. And we asked them, how did you come to know about Toastmasters? How did you come to know about our club? Oh, I saw this on Instagram. I saw this on Twitter. I saw this on Facebook and so different media. So you see, this new member who did not know much about Toastmasters would just create these beautiful posters and put them all out. And he became the celebrity of the club. Please do not ignore the new members. They have new ideas. And this is exactly what you need to get out of this rut, this boring, monotonous events that we can sometimes call our Toastmaster meetings. Very important to respect other people's opinions. And do you know why it's important to respect other people's opinion? Imagine if I give an opinion and it's cut down and everyone says, oh my God, Anil, that was not a good suggestion. Do you think anyone else in the group will want to propose a solution? They'll say, oh my God, look what happened to Anil. He gave an idea and they cut it down before you could even, give us a reason why it's a good idea. And what happens when nobody wants to give an idea? One person will take the lead and impose his ideas on the group. And that is a very bad thing. In Toastmasters, we don't believe that we have to have the best solution. We are leaders and we want to learn how to come up with different solutions. So we want to experiment. We see what works. If it works, great, we move forward with it. If it doesn't work, we come back to the drawing board. And again, we brainstorm. We can write down once again all the different solutions. We encourage all our members to speak. We respect everyone's opinion and we try something different. Now, is there any questions so far on this part? I'm going to stop sharing my screen to ask any questions. You can post it in the group. Some challenges that your club is facing and some ways that you have overcome these challenges. Would anyone want to unmute themselves and talk about it?
Good evening, DTM Anil Lobo. First of all, congratulations and thank you for bringing the wonderful challenge we are facing now. Most of the Toastmasters, as I surveyed in my club, I also facing the less attendance. And when I talk to them, honestly, they are not showing the cause by that they are not attending the meeting. Simply, they will answer, I am busy with another study session or with the employment or anything. So I am unable to find out the exact reason. And some of the members also mentioned the virtual meeting, as we all are not can afford the 3-bedroom flat. So some of my member, or we can say any member, having the sharing accommodation in their company accommodation, either in single room, they having the 2-3 people together them. So this also affecting to them attend the virtual meeting. Thank you.
Yes, this is something that we need to understand. What Toastmaster Dinesh has said is very true. Are these excuses to get out of the meeting, or are they genuine look into? I can clearly say, oh, I have a 1-bedroom apartment and it's difficult for me to have a meeting because my wife or my children are studying. Is that a real reason or is it just an excuse? So this is something we have to look into. But very important, get all the different solutions, write down all your problems, and we have to brainstorm and see how we can move forward. Any other challenges that anyone is facing in their clubs which I have not documented as a top 7? Maybe it could be the top 8 now. Alvin, could you read out the chat and see if anyone has commented on any of the challenges that they're facing?
We have one challenge on membership retention.
Okay. Would somebody would like to elaborate on that, on membership retention?
DTM Anil, this is DTM Ramkumar. Thank you. I was telling that how did we overcome in the Elite Debaters, because I am the VP Education for Elite Debaters Toastmasters Club, Kuwait. We have overcome with it with coordinating, following up with them, asking them instead, what is your anticipation? Why did you join club? Did we meet your expectations? By doing that, we have not only overcome the membership retention, but we have exceeded members in the Elite Debaters. The only thing what we identified as a solution is it remains credible to all the ExCom leaders following with each and every person making a virtual call at their convenience, not your convenience. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Now, you see, what Ram Kumar has talked about is something very important, and this is something that I would like to share with everyone. We are Toastmasters, we're communicators. But of late, especially because of COVID, and I've noticed in the last few years, we have become beautiful broadcasters. We can create umpteen number of broadcast Toastmaster WhatsApp groups, and we keep broadcasting messages, attend this meeting, do this, do that. If you have 25 members in the club, and if you can take just one day, choose two members every day, pick up the phone and for 5 minutes speak to them and say, hi, Mr. So-and-so. Hi, Miss So-and-so. Hi, Toastmaster So-and-so. We have our next meeting in 2 weeks. Would you like to take up a role? Or I did not see you for the last couple of weeks. What is the challenge? Or where have you reached in your educational goal? What would you like to do next year? What officer role would you like to take up? That one-on-one phone call is what will transform the person from an inactive Toastmaster, a Toastmaster with a lot of excuses, to an active Toastmaster. Instead of broadcasting and sending a message saying, would you like to attend, are you attending next meeting? Would you like to be a TMOD? Would you like to... By just a phone call, we can identify why the person is not attending. We can and ensure that this member who would have dropped out or would have been an inactive member is now an active member. I've not seen anyone talk about mentoring. Mentoring is a big challenge. And if you look at the poll, it says almost 80% of the members, they have a challenge, or 80% of the clubs have a challenge with mentoring. This is something that we need to take very seriously. The Bridge the Gap program is something that has been put in place by DTM Alifia to help ensure that people get mentored. There's a pool of mentors who will mentor you on pathways, who will mentor you on speech contests, and speech contests is a very big challenge right now. We also have on meeting
DTM Anil Lobo, can I come in?
Yes, please.
The results on poll on mentoring is 79% have said yes, that they have a mentor.
Oh, is it? Okay, very good. That's nice. It's if there's mentoring, because this is a big way of retaining members. If your members are being retained, are being mentored, they're going to be retained. If there is no mentoring, if there is no camaraderie between the new members and even the existing members, they tend to leave. Now, have you noticed another big challenge that we're facing is getting in Toastmaster members to attend? Now, when you have a lack of members attending, you have a challenge with filling up roles. What is the most common thing that everyone does? Calls up Toastmasters from other clubs, right? And says, can you fill up a role? We need an evaluator, we need a grammarian, we need an R counter. And what's happening, after some time, the Toastmaster members of other clubs become crutches for your club. You need these Toastmaster guests. This is a sign that you are doing your challenge properly. And this brings us to the next slide of mine. What is a weak club? And how can we identify a weak club? Now let's put out a poll over here. And our poll master is going to put out a very simple question. You have 3 choices. What is a weak club? Less than 20 members, between 12 to 20, or less than 12 members? Can we launch the poll, please? Please answer this to the best of your ability. You have, 30 seconds, I guess. It's a very simple answer. Choose one of the 3. Yeah, I guess we can close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll.
Timer.
Let's see the results of our poll. And let's see what does everyone says. Okay, I have 9%, I think, or 5% who says it's less than 20. It's between 12 to 20. And the rest of you, a good 75%. Under 12 members. Excellent. Very true. Now we all know what is a weak club. A weak club is basically members that are defined as less than
Hey,
12
Suji, how are
members.
you?
I'm sorry?
Good morning.
So we have
Yeah,
identified a club that has got less than 12 members is eligible for a club coach. A weak club is ideally anything less than 20 members, and a club that meets one of the following goals. In other words, you have no new members joining. If you have had several weeks, several meetings, several months that you have not had a new member enroll, or you have a lot of dual members who are enrolling, that is one of the first signs that your club is weak. It doesn't have to reach a drastic level like say 7 or 8 or 10 or 12. But let's say you started out the year, you started out July at 20 members, and you have not had a new member till now, till November, December. That is a sign that you're becoming a weak club. The second, your DCP goals are slipping. You know, we have certain goals, and these goals say that you have to have so many new members, so many educational goals, club officers being trained. That these goals are not being achieved, that is another sign that your club is becoming weak. It is not yet a weak club, but is on track to becoming weak. Attendance is dropping. You started out the year at say 22, 25 members, and then it dwindled down to 20, and now it's gone a little below 20. And today, or this month, with guests from other Toastmaster clubs, you're achieving just maybe 15 to 18 members attending. That is a sign your club is becoming weak. Let's not wait till you reach a point where you have identified as 12 or less and you need a coach. Identify when you are started to slip, when you're getting weak. And one of the big challenges that we have is no non-Toastmaster guests attending, because a non-Toastmaster guest is a potential member, is an organic member who's growing with your club. If you do not have such way of becoming a weak club. Now, these are just some tips of how to identify weak clubs. It doesn't mean that if you don't fall in this category, you're not weak. It could be that your club meetings are getting to be quite bland and boring and monotonous. You have 3 speakers who are speaking for the Pathways Manual, and you have evaluators who are giving wonderful evaluation, and you have Topics Master who gives nice variety of topics, but it's the same format over and over again. There is no variety. Why don't you have something different? And this is where you can identify how to revive your club, how to make your club dynamic. Why don't you have a debate? Why don't you have a tall tales contest? Have a humorous speech contest. You don't have to follow Toastmaster book, because this is not a international speech contest. This is something you're doing just to revive your club or to make your club meetings friendly. Now, I have identified 3 things that we can do to sustain weak clubs. Now, before you reach the critical number of under 12 and you see yourself sliding towards that magic number of 12, then you need to start asking for a club coach. Now you have reached below 12, you can apply for a club coach. If you're more than 12, you don't need a club coach, you just need a mentor. You need somebody to mentor you. And this is where the program that our DTM Alifia has come out with is really great, which is basically a program called, if I just Bridge the Gap. Bridge the Gap will help you find coaches to make your club active. Now, if you're under 12, ask for a club coach. Now, how do you apply for a club coach? It's very simple. You fill in a beautiful application form, send in $1,000 US to me, okay? Civil ID copy, 3 letters of reference, and I'm just kidding, guys. It's nothing that complicated. If you need a club coach, pick up the phone, call your area director, your division director, and ensure that your club coach is appointed by your CGD. The club coach has certain criteria, and I'm going to explain to you what the criteria is. Jijo has explained the second thing, which is an opportunity for you to understand what is my club doing and where it can go. And finally, work on your club success plan. I've noticed a lot of clubs, they just have a statutory club success plan, and you don't revisit this every couple of months. You have to have a benchmark. It's like a New Year's resolution. You have your resolutions in front of you, and every few months you look at it and see, are you achieving your goals, and start working towards them. Now, Toastmasters believes in the Gestalt approach to teamwork. It basically puts the emphasis on the individual who's part of the team. And we'll talk more about this if time permits. Now let's understand, what does a club coach do? Now this is very important. A club coach builds a rapport with the leaders and members. Now, by building a rapport doesn't mean that the club coach is the expert, but he's just trying to see what is the present environment. He observes, he analyzes, and he recommends solution. The key word here is recommend. He doesn't propose solutions. He doesn't impose solutions. He gives suggestions. Now you saw we did the little exercise earlier on brainstorming. You write down all the different problems you're facing, all the challenges you're facing. And then you start shortlisting. You start understanding which of this challenge is genuine and which is just an excuse. And then how to overcome the challenge. Now in real life, if you have a flat closest garage, least expensive, the quickest time that they can select the garage that you're going to, right? Same thing over here. When a club coach comes out, he will observe, he will analyze, and he will recommend solution. You will look at which is the best, move forward towards that with your club coach. This goal is something that you will document and discuss in your XCOM. Now, maybe your club coach will be part of your XCOM, maybe he will not. But keep him in the loop so that the club coach knows what the decision is being taken by the XCOM. When you implement the plan, ensure that these changes are performed by all the club officers and members. It is not done by only one person. Like example, if you have the VP education coming up with a quote unquote contest, a tall tales contest, let's have the VP membership motivate everyone to take part. Get the club coach and some mentors to conduct a workshop on what is a tall tales contest. Get members from the audience, from the other Toastmaster clubs to come and attend. Publicize this on Facebook and Instagram, on different media. Get potential Toastmasters to attend. And lo and behold, you will notice maybe 2 or 3 of these guests have joined your club and become members. So you have moved from being a critically weak club to a weak club. Few more special events like this, and you will move from being a weak club to a moderately strong club. And very soon you will achieve 20 plus members and will have achieved all your goals. So the club coach instills confidence and is responsible, and a sense of responsibility. Now let's look at the next slide. This has already been talked about by Toastmaster Jiju. It is very important to have a good first impression. Now, most of you who have had arranged marriages, you know the importance. You know, you dress up well, you have nice makeup, and you put on a nice perfume and so forth. Why? Because the first impression is a lasting impression. As not only the first impressions, it's also the orientation, the fellowship, the proper planning, variety of meetings. If a guest comes and there's only 6 members and the rest are non-members, there's a good chance that the guest will not become a member. Achievements are equally important. I will not spend too much time on this because I'm sure you guys all already know how to have good moments of truth. But I strongly encourage every club to conduct the moments of truth at least once every year. This gives the XCOM a chance to understand what are their strengths and what are the weaknesses and how to overcome some of these challenges that they're facing. Now, this is my last slide, the Distinguished Club Program. 6 educational goals. Now, although this is the purview of the VP education, do not think that only the VP education is responsible for this. Let's motivate others. Understand why a person is slipping on their goals. If somebody is slipping on their goals, like they're not taking up the Pathways project, they've given the icebreaker speech, but they're not moving to the second project, it might be a good chance to pick up the phone and talk to them. What is your challenge? Do you need mentoring? Do you need somebody to assist you? Would you like to have an online meeting, maybe a WhatsApp call, a Zoom meeting, or even a phone call? Do you want to get ideas on how to write a speech? Maybe we could have a workshop conducted by one of the experienced Toastmasters from another club or from your own club. So you can see how you can achieve these 6 educational goals. And it's not just to meet the goals. You have to ensure that not just 1 or 2 members are getting 5 or 6 in such a way that if there are 20 members, all 20 members are going to provide the educational goals to the club. Not just few of the members who are giving the educational goals and the rest being silent. Membership goals. You need 4 new members to get 1 point and another 4 to get another point. It's not the VP membership's role, it's everyone's role. Office colleagues, speak to your friends, speak to maybe your family members, convince your wife or your husband to join. Admin goals are equally important, and one of the most important admin goal for this XCOM, which will help the next year's XCOM, is sending your officers list by end of June. If you do this, you're giving the incoming XCOM for next year half a valuable point, and this half a valuable point will help them next year achieve 10 out of 10. And that's something that I'm sure you want to do, right? Finally, club people attend today and 4 attend the last training. You have got 1 point for that. Ensure that by the end of the year, you've got at least 20 plus members, or if you started under 20, you have a net growth of 20. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, a lot of challenges on how to overcome some of these challenges. I'm here to answer your questions, but more than that, this is an interactive workshop. I want you not only to tell us the challenges you faced, but how you have overcome these challenges. And maybe we can copy and replicate what you have done in your club into other clubs that are facing similar challenges. Does anyone want to share about some of the challenges they faced in their home club and how they overcame them in the last 6 months, last year? You may unmute yourself. Alvin, you can read the chat if you don't mind, and just read out a question that somebody might have posted in the chat.
We have a question from Toastmaster Pidambaran on membership. It is how to check accountability of mentors.
How to check accountability of mentors. Okay, see, mentors are giving their time. They are sharing their free time to mentor somebody. So it's like, you need 2 hands to clap. A mentor, if he or she is not spending enough time with the mentee can ask for another mentor. You don't have to stay with only one mentee. Like I'm mentoring at least a dozen Toastmasters. But if somebody feels that I don't have enough time to give to them, by all means, they can approach somebody else. Others, I am being mentored. There are times the people I'm going to ask for suggestions and help are quite busy. You can approach anyone. Toastmasters does not have a structured format that says if you are being mentored by X, you cannot go to Y. Now, accountability is going to be quite a challenge, but if you feel that your mentor is not mentoring you properly, you can ask for another mentor. And I'm sure a lot of members are willing to be mentors. It's a learning process. I hope I've answered that question.
May I add a thing to that? I was the person who asked that question. Can I add one more thing?
Yes, please.
Look, in my club at present, we have out of 22, 12 are new members and 10 are the old members. And the old members, Toastmaster aging could be at least 2 to 3 years. So if we go by certain set of experience or something, what we face normally is that the mentor relationship or mentors from the mentor side, initially for the new members to reach out to the mentor become a bit difficult. But what I personally did is that to get in touch with every member to push them to since being the VP education, push them to the mentor and vice versa. But same time, when we see practical results, it is not in that outcome. That is the reason why I asked this question.
Okay, you brought up a very interesting challenge. Now, you see, there are some other challenges that we have not talked about. One is there is a lot of Toastmaster clubs in the same geographical area. That is a challenge, especially if you're a weak club trying to grow, to die. In fact, sometimes they try to get other Toastmasters to join in. This is, again, a big challenge. So we need to do something about that. We have community clubs. I don't know about in Bahrain, but in Kuwait also, we have a lot of community clubs, and you want to stay within the same community. This is a challenge that we need to overcome. You see, we have to identify all the challenges. We have to do a SWOT analysis. We have sometimes challenges with linguistic skills. People are not native English speakers. And they say, you know, I don't want to be with people who speak very high level English. I'm a new person. I'm just joining Toastmasters. You have to identify all these type of challenges. And we have to ensure that these people get integrated well. Otherwise, you will have new members join, but these new members after a few months will drop out. So these are what I call warning signs. So some of the warning signs that I have listed is non-Toastmaster or guests are not being encouraged to join or to attend. You're not converting guests to members. This is a warning sign. You have 6 guests who come every meeting, but they don't convert it. They don't become members. So this is a warning sign. Or you don't have guests. That's again another warning sign. You only have Toastmaster members and Toastmasters from other clubs. Again, that's another warning sign. The third warning sign is the meetings become quite stale and boring and monotonous. You have prepared speeches from the pathways manuals. You have evaluation. You have topics, table topics. You have grammarian. Why don't you have different things? Instead of having a word of the day, why don't you have a phrase or a colloquial slang or something like that? So try having some variety. Have different types of contests, tall tales. You can have humorous contests. Look at special events. Stop broadcasting and start calling. Right now, today, if you live in Bahrain and you live in Kuwait, local phone calls are free. If you person once or twice in a week and ask them what's happening. Use the Bridge the Gap program. That's a beautiful program. And this program helps us, have the mentors, a pool of mentors. And this is something that is a big challenge, is getting the right mentor for the right member. So we have to look into that. Quite a few other challenges are there, but I'm not going to go into too much details because then each one of you will. I have 10 more minutes before I have to, hand over to the.
Good morning. Good morning, Anil. DTM Anil, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And Srinivas, Toastmaster Srinivas, Sergeant at Arms of Inspiring Ecos Toastmasters Club in Kuwait.
Hi, good evening.
It's not a challenge actually, but I have something what I have experienced with this particular club. Inspiring Ecos was almost a dying club when I was the area director of Area 29, under which this club was falling. This was in the year 2019. But we turned it around. For all the old members of the club, which was a very healthy club with more than 21 members, all happened to leave the club. No show at all. But we turned around this club with one cornerstone program called Improv.
Improv.
In short, improvisation or improv in short, which was actually an extended format of impromptu speaking, but very different in format or in execution than the regular table topics. We are still a weak club. We still have not achieved the earmarked 21 members or 20 plus members to call ourselves a strong club. But what I see that over the last 1 year, we have somehow been able to keep up this club with the existing members. The president is none other than the Division H director. And we are somehow able to still garner that support of Toastmasters and non-Toastmaster members. And we see that there's a lot of enthusiasm by guests participating from other clubs to just understand this particular concept of improv.
This is a very nice thing, yes. See, as I said in the beginning, there is no one solution for everyone. That's why we have to brainstorm. We have to come up with different ideas. And we have to look at the best solution. I keep going back to the same car problem because I had a problem recently. I had a flat tire. I was stuck on the highway and I had to find out, number one, how to get my car fixed quickly. Second thing, I had to find out how to get it done in the least expensive manner. It costs a lot of money to change a tire nowadays. And third, I had to find out how I can get to the garage. So a lot of challenges were there. And understanding all this, I came up with the solution. Was it the best solution? I don't know. But you have to, as a leader, take a decision. I like what you have done, Toastmaster Srinivas. You tried something new called improv. It worked great. But let's say, suppose he had to try this project called improv and it didn't work. It just means that this does not work for this club. Try something else. So try, experiment with different techniques, and you will, I'll tell you, over time, find a magic solution that will work and move forward with that. So don't give up. Just try something different. That's what Toastmasters is about. An opportunity for us to try different things and, in a way, not succeed the first time, but succeed eventually. Thank you, Toastmasters Srinivas. Does anyone else want to share some challenges they faced in their club and how they overcame them?
We have a hand raised by our district director, Mohammed Salim.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, DTM Anil Lobo. Actually, I think you will come out with a new speech like Chris Wislian, who had a flat tire also. Hopefully, looking forward to hear your speech.
Yes.
Now, talking about the poll, I was one of the members who had raised at poll that having less than 20 members is a weak club. Actually, some might not agree to that. Actually, my opinion, anything less than 20, because the past district director or past international president DTM Balraj Arunachalam has mentioned, new 30 is 20. That means that each club should strive to have 30 members instead of 20 members actually, because that is where it really makes a club much stronger. To give some examples, actually in Bahrain we have one of the oldest club, which is the Manama Toastmasters Club, which always maintains a membership of not less than 40 members actually, and that's the reason it has been sustaining for more than 40 years actually, more than 50 years. The point here is that we need to have more, rather than having 6 to 8 members or striving toward 12 member or being in a situation wherein we might drop out from less than 20. We should try to make clubs stronger, because every year we are talking of a growth of 1.5% in terms of distinguished district, whereas 8% in terms of medley distinguished. Are these happen within the club also? I doubt actually. That progress is not. We are expanding clubs, whereas we are not expanding the club membership base. So let's work on this year actually. We should really focus on how to increase membership base of clubs rather than increasing more clubs. This will be a bigger. I always recommend the Speechcraft program. So let's try to have new 30 rather than 20, because 20 is a dangerous number. You can, in terms of a teenage or even in a club also. So it's always go to the 30 wherein you're more mature, more you can handle things actually. So let's strive for going for 30. I know we might have to merge some clubs. I really don't mind on doing that. Actually, as a district director, I shouldn't say that, but I don't mind. I normally recommend clubs to merge so that they can have a strong membership base. So they'll be having a excellent club meetings. That is where the members, having 8 members, it's not a fun at all. So let's focus that new 30 is a new 20. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, DTM Mohammed Salim. Yes, I agree with him. When I launched the poll, you remember there were 3 questions: less than 20, 12 to 20, or under 12. Basically 20. So if you're under 12, you're eligible to have a club coach. If you are between 12 to 20, you can have a mentor or a group of mentors. And if you're over 20, you are considered healthy, but as you rightly said, then 30 is the new 20. 30 members in your club. Attendance should be minimum 15 to 20, ideally more than 20, to have a healthy quality meeting. So now with this said and done, it's time for me to wind up the session by paraphrasing everything that I've said. Number 1, we have to ensure that we understand that we have challenges. If we don't have challenges, there is no life, there is no growth. Once we have challenges, document the challenges and start brainstorming on solutions for the challenges. Every challenge has at least one, maybe more challenge. Select one solution and start implementing them for each challenge. If it works, great, move forward with it. If it doesn't, look at the other options that you have, but never give up. Then finally, let's identify what are weak clubs. Weak clubs doesn't mean you have to be under 20. Strong, but are dwindling, weakening. Attendance is dropping, and so many other factors that I've explained. sustain these clubs by allowing them to grow, and let's try to reach 30, the magic number, the new 20. With this, I would like to hand over to the Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Apurva.
Thank you very much, DTM Anil, for that extremely valuable lesson. That was very inspiring. Now it's time to introduce our trainers for the club officers training. Well, our first trainer to present the training module for president, we have with us a real versatile person. Being the first lady to ever join Toastmasters in the Middle East, she also happens to be the first lady to achieve the DTM status and the first lady to become a division governor. She is rightly called the Iron Lady of Toastmasters.
Hello.
So please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Geeta Rani Punachambi. To present the training module on Vice President Education, let me introduce a charming lady who has been with Toastmasters since 2017. She is a current district officer at Area 21 and currently serves as Vice President Education with Kuwait Challengers Toastmasters Club, where she previously served as Secretary and President. Please welcome Toastmaster Priscilla Dias. Next, to present the training module for Vice President membership, we have with us an amazing person from WMC Toastmasters Club. He is a current Area 9 Director and has previously served as Vice President membership and Vice President Education at WMC Toastmasters Club. Please welcome Toastmaster Bilal Hussain. Well, to present the training module for Vice President Public Relations, let me introduce this charming lady who has been with Toastmasters since 2017. She currently serves as the club president at Mangrove Communicators Toastmasters Club, where she previously served as Vice President Public Relations. Please welcome Toastmaster Saywed Esther Hewson. To present the training module for Secretary, let me introduce this charming lady from Indian Chartered Accountants Bahrain Toastmasters Club. She is the president of Krypton Advanced Toastmasters Club and the current Area 11 Director. Please welcome Toastmaster Ramya Suresh. To present the training module for Treasurer, we have with us an accomplished Toastmaster since 2015. He is the current Vice President Education at Mutamal Toastmasters Club and the current Area 8 Director. Please welcome Toastmaster Sai Murugan. And finally, to present the training module for Sergeant at Arms, we have with us a very resourceful person who has been Toastmastering over the last 9 years and is a member of 4 clubs. A sales professional who is passionate about stand-up comedy, he does exactly that in his home club, which is Laugh Out Loud Toastmasters Club. Please welcome Toastmaster Srinivas Charapati. Well, I present to you the team of core trainers for today. Give them a huge round of applause. Now, without any further ado, let me welcome an equally important person onto the dais. He is the current president at WMC Toastmasters Club. Humor runs in him, and it's no wonder that he is a champion of humorous speeches. With great reverence and respect and an even huge applause, please welcome our co-chair, Toastmaster Yashodhan Abhyankar, for giving his vote of thanks, which will be followed by a short 15 minutes tea break. I request everyone to please check the chat box and go to your respective links to join the session. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, co-chair, Toastmaster Yash.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Respected dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very warm good morning to one and all. First and foremost, I would like to thank our District 20 Director, DTM Mohammad Salim, Program Quality Director, DTM Alifia Lakdawala, Club Growth Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, Public Relations Manager, Toastmaster Maram Alaradi, and Administration Manager, Toastmaster Rashid Mamoon. Thank you for guiding us and providing the excellent support. Any successful event is an outcome of teamwork. Toastmaster Navinan took charge of the registration and attendance desk. With his creative work, PR head Toastmaster Sumesh designed eye-catching flyers. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Jay Kumar started the meeting right on time. IT team headed by Toastmaster Sandhya is working hard in the background to make sure that the training is going in a smooth way. She's supported by Toastmaster Prabodha, who is our timer as well, Toastmaster Vishwanathan, Toastmaster Manisha, Toastmaster Liba, Toastmaster Vikruddin, and Toastmaster Alvin. Our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Apurva, kept the event lively with her charming smile. Thank you, dear team members, for your efforts and hard work. Toastmaster BG played a key role in making sure that Bahrain and Kuwait are tightly integrated. Last but not the least, I thank Division D Director, DTM Sajita, for the superb coordination. Thank you, one and all. With this, we conclude the first session. Hello, Toastmasters. Now there are interesting trainings lined up. Now it's 10:20, so we are perfectly on time. So let's have a quick break, and at 10:30 sharp, we start our new sessions. All the links are there in the chat box. There is a photo or a JPG for all the contact details of IT heads as well. So if you are not able to join the meeting, please contact our IT team. And all presidents, keep in mind that this is the very link you will be following for the president's training. So with this, I conclude the session. Thank you one and all for joining us. We had very interesting and very educational, knowledgeable workshops. So now let's move on to the training side. Goodbye.
Could have taken a group photo.
Well, it's a nice idea. Maybe everyone please switch on their cameras if they are not already switched on, so then we can take some group photos.
To have like
Is it the same link for the other officers also, a different link? I'm having a net problem, that's why I'm asking.
No, each officer is different. Only the president is the same link.
Oh, okay. VP membership, where the links are put?
They're all in the chat box.
There is a message. There is a message in the chat box that SAA link is not working.
Okay, who's taking the photo? Khalid Abdullah, are you taking the photo? Please tell us.
Yeah, he is our camera growth director also.
Okay.
PGD, please take a snap, please, and then we can go back to the training sessions and check everything is okay.
Sure. Yes. I'll do this now. Just keep on smiling when I go for the eight screens.
So we have to smile 8 times.
DDD, I'll send you the photos.
Ratinder Saab looks very smart. Muche to Ratinder.